Imagine testing your new night camera and ending up capturing something that shouldn't be there. An object blinking in the sky, no sound, no trail. What would you do? This account was sent to our channel by someone who asked to remain anonymous. The experience you're about to hear happened on a regular night in the backyard, but ended up turning into a nightmare that this teenager will never forget. He had just received a new night camera and was eager to test it out. It was around 2 in the morning. The sky was clear, cloudless, and the silence was so profound that he could hear his own breathing. Out of curiosity, he decided to point the camera at the sky, not expecting to capture anything other than the stars. While adjusting the focus, he noticed something unusual on the screen, a pulsating light. At first, he thought it was a plane, but that light wasn't moving. It remained still, hovering in the same spot, blinking in a pattern he couldn't identify. It was an intense, bluish-white glow that seemed almost hypnotic. He tried to adjust the zoom to capture more details, but the light appeared to be too far away. Even so, he managed to record a few seconds of what was happening. Meanwhile, he started to feel a strange chill. The temperature hadn't dropped, but a shiver ran through his entire body. It was as if the air around him had become heavy, almost suffocating. The pattern of the lights kept changing. 3 quick flashes, a pause, 2 slower flashes. Something in the back of his mind screamed that this wasn't normal, but he couldn't stop filming. He was mesmerized. Then, without warning, the light vanished. 1 second it was there, pulsing in the sky, and the next it was simply gone. No sound, no trail. He blinked several times, trying to find the light again, but the sky was empty. Before we continue, like and follow the channel so you don't miss the next stories, which, for reasons of national security, may be taken down at any moment. After the light disappeared, he stood there, still pointing the camera at the sky. His heart was pounding so hard that he could hear the sound of his own heartbeat echoing in his ears. For a few seconds, he wondered if it had really happened or if it was just a figment of his imagination. But when he looked at the camera screen, the answer was right there. He had recorded everything. The lights blinking in strange patterns, floating in the night sky, vanishing without a trace. And the more he watched the video, the more the unease grew. That didn't look like a plane, a drone, or anything he had ever seen before. He ran inside, locked the door, and went straight to his room. The house was dark, and the silence now felt threatening. Every shadow, every subtle sound seemed to be hiding something. Sitting on the bed, he decided to watch the video again, this time with the volume all the way up. But there was no sound, no engine noise, no drone buzz, nothing. Just absolute silence, interrupted only by the lights blinking in a pattern that seemed almost intentional. The repetition of that pattern started to bother him. He felt like it was some kind of code, maybe a message. But how to decipher it? The thought made his stomach churn. Suddenly, his phone vibrated. A message from a friend. "Dude, did you see that light in the sky a little while ago?" He felt his heart drop. He wasn't crazy. Someone else had seen it. He replied quickly, trying to stay calm. "Yeah, I recorded it. What do you think it was?" The friend didn't respond. The sense of isolation intensified. He put on his headphones, took a deep breath, and watched the video for the 3rd time. This time, he focused on a detail he had missed before, a small black, almost imperceptible, near the pulsating light. It looked like a second object, small but clearly visible, and he hadn't noticed it before. His stomach turned again. What else was he not seeing? What else was out there that night? Follow our channel so you don't miss the next stories, which, for reasons of national security, may be taken down at any moment. The video wouldn't leave his mind. The pulsating light, the almost imperceptible black dot beside it. Something about that recording felt wrong, out of place. He needed answers. The next morning, he decided to show the video to the friend who had messaged him the night before. They met at the park near the school. They sat on a bench, eyes glued to the phone screen as the video played in slow motion. "You see that?" he asked, pausing the video exactly where the small black object appeared. His friend squinted, furrowing his brow. "Dude, that's not a plane. And look how the light blinks. It's like a pattern, like it's trying to communicate." That possibility made his stomach twist. Why hadn't he thought of that before? Those blinks. 3 quick flashes. Pause. 2 slow flashes. Pause. The cycle repeated. They both fell silent for a moment. The sound of the wind rustling through the trees seemed to amplify the growing discomfort. The friend took a deep breath and said, "My sister was watching some videos about extraterrestrial signals the other day. She said some lights in the sky blink in specific patterns, like Morse code or something." The suggestion sent a chill down his spine. He looked at the video again. Now, he couldn't just see blinking lights. He saw a code, a message, but a message from whom? And for whom? In the days that followed, he couldn't think about anything else. He spent hours watching the video, jotting down every blink sequence, trying to decipher some pattern. He tried plugging the sequences into online Morse code converters, but the results were just random, meaningless letters. Until one night, he had a nightmare. He was back in the yard, camera in hand, and the pulsating light had returned. Only this time, it wasn't alone. The black dot beside it had grown. Now, it looked like a shadow hovering, floating in the air, with eyes that blinked in the same pattern as the light. He woke up drenched in sweat, heart racing. It was just a dream, or a repressed memory. In the days that followed, he started avoiding the backyard. He couldn't look up at the sky without feeling a chill run down his spine, and the feeling of being watched never left him. Before we wrap up, like and share this video. After all, the more people hear these stories, the better chance we have of understanding what's really going on. Days passed, but the feeling of being watched only got worse. He could barely sleep. Every shadow in the room seemed to hide something. Every nighttime noise sounded like a whisper. The image of the pulsating light and the black that wouldn't leave his mind. In a desperate attempt to find answers, he decided to post the video on an online forum specialized in UFO sightings. Within hours, the post started receiving comments from people claiming to have seen similar lights. Some described identical blinking patterns. Others spoke of sightings accompanied by figures, dark shadows that seemed to watch from a distance. One comment caught his attention. It was from an anonymous user with no profile picture, who said, "You shouldn't have recorded that. They know you saw it, and now they're watching you too." The message sounded absurd, but he couldn't shake it off. And that same night, the feeling of being watched became unbearable. The streetlight flickered, the tree branches seemed to whisper in the wind. And that's when he noticed the night camera, left in the corner of the room, was on. He didn't remember turning it on. With trembling fingers, he picked up the camera and checked the most recent recording. The first few seconds showed just the dark, empty room. But then, a very faint noise began to echo. An almost imperceptible buzzing sound. And the camera caught something. In the back of the room, near the window, a shadow moved quickly. Something was there, standing still, watching him as he slept. Something that blinked in the exact same pattern he had recorded in the sky. The camera slipped from his hands, the screen cracked, and the recording was lost. But the fear remained. He started sleeping with the lights on, his phone in hand, and the window locked. But even so, the feeling of being watched never left him. To this day, he still wakes up in the middle of the night, convinced that the light is back, and that this time, it hasn't come just to be seen. Did he really capture something from another world? Or was it just a camera glitch? Share your opinion in the comments. And remember, Stories like this could disappear at any moment. So, like and follow the channel to not miss the next reports.